Hello, I'm Hengame. In this post, I want to teach you how to make molded green pistachio baklava. In order to make desserts or sweets, first we need to melt the butter and extract buttermilk to get pure butter. First, we let the butter melt with medium heat and the impurities of the butter are separated. We call this substance formed on the top of melted butter buttermilk. Now we have two ways to remove buttermilk. The first way is that when the butter is melted, we put it in a freezer. The buttermilk does not freeze, but the butter freezes. After the butter freezes, we can remove the buttermilk from the top of the butter with a knife. The second way is the way that I show you in the video. Let the butter boil and some of the impurities evaporate. Another part of the impurities burns and settles at the bottom of the butter and the rest of the impurities are on the top of the butter. Pass the butter through a strainer to separate the buttermilk. This way you will have pure butter. To make sugar syrup or golden syrup for sweets and desserts, pour 1 cup of water into 2 cups of sugar in a pot under medium heat. And let the sugar dissolve slowly in the water without using a spoon, so that your syrup does not become sugary at all. And also, the sugar must be dissolved in the water before the water boils. And if the water boils before the sugar dissolves, take 2 handles of the pot and turn the pot until the sugar dissolves. Until the sugar dissolves in the syrup, I'll provide some explanations about the importance of syrup. Syrup plays a crucial role in various culinary applications due to its ability to add sweetness, moisture, and flavor to dishes and beverages. In baking, syrup acts as a natural sweetener and helps to retain moisture, resulting in softer and more flavorful cakes, cookies, and pastries. Additionally, syrup is essential in the production of beverages, where it serves as a base for cocktails, smoothies, and flavored drinks, enhancing their taste and texture. Moreover, syrup is often used in confectionery to coat candies and create glossy glazes for cakes and pastries, adding both sweetness and visual appeal. Overall, syrup is a versatile ingredient that adds depth and richness to a wide range of culinary creations. Now let's move on to preparing the sugar syrup. Pay attention. After the sugar dissolves, you can use wooden spoon. Add 2/4 of a teaspoon of acid citric or lemon juice to the syrup. Of course, it is better to use citric acid. And then add half a spoon of glucose. Adding glucose is optional and helps make your sweets and desserts shiny. Then let your syrup boil for 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, add your favorite essence. Here I added a spoon of rose water and a teaspoon of saffron. Then let your syrup boil for another 2 minutes. After 2 minutes, then turn off the gas. Be aware that the syrup will thicken after cooling. If your syrup is too thick, it will not penetrate the sweets or desserts. And if it is too thin, it will soften your sweets. Make sure to stick to the exact minutes and proportions I mentioned in video so you don't run into any issues. The concentration of your syrup is so important, and it should be the same as the syrup in the film. Like this. This is 100 grams of kadayif noodles that I have chopped. Now we add 100 grams of pure melted butter to it. And with help of hands or a spoon, we completely coat the kadayif noodles with butter. You know, this Lebanese Arabic dessert is actually part of a family of Turkish baklava and Arabic baklava. I mix all the kadayif noodles with butter perfectly. Then set aside as much pistachio powder as you like. Sprinkle powdered pistachio at bottom of the mold and press it firmly with a spoon. You can also use a round mold. The pistachios should not be too powdery or too coarse. After adding the pistachios, you pour the kadayif strands over them and press them firmly. Now place the mold in the oven at 160 degrees Celsius and just check to make sure the kadayif turns golden. That's enough, as more time in the oven may cause the pistachios at the bottom of the mold to burn. As you can see, when the kadayif turns golden, I pour warm syrup over them, and once they cool down a bit, I remove them from the mold. Here's the final result, which is very delicious and special. Hi, I'm Hengame. In this post, I want to teach you how to make very easy and very delicious coconut sweets. You will see it has a soft texture but several layers and crispiness. Well, for the sweet dough, you will need the following ingredients: 110 grams powdered sugar, 60 grams egg whites, 60 grams coconut powder, 60 grams liquid oil, and powdered pistachios. For making these sweets, you will need also a pack of puff pastry dough for sweets. Now to make the sweet topping, mix all the ingredients except for the powdered pistachios together and whisk them well until they're uniform. You see, the concentration of your ingredients should be like what you see in the video. Bring the dough out of the freezer 2 hours before using it. Unwrap it, flatten it with a rolling pin until smooth. Then cut the edges of the dough all around and remove it so your sweets puff up nicely. Making vertical cuts, then a horizontal cut through the middle of the dough. Arrange the pieces of the dough on oven tray. Poke several holes with a fork on top of the dough pieces to allow for even puffing during baking. Now spread a spoonful of coconut mixture on top of the dough pieces. Then place them in a preheated oven at 180 degrees Celsius for about 16 to 20 minutes. Well, here's the result. Make sure to try it out and enjoy it with your loved ones.